Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Run. I'm Egberto Willis, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today, as usual. Yes, I'm finally doing live on TikTok because of you guys, man. We are live on TikTok now. We're live on Twitter now. We're live on Twitch now. We're live on YouTube now. We're live on Facebook now, all five. Well, of course, now we have Facebook that's fighting with TikTok, because Facebook is trying to malign TikTok. Hey, all those crazy kids on TikTok. TikTok is going to destroy your family. And, I wonder if Facebook should really do this, because the reality is Facebook doesn't have a good record right now. Come on, I'm on Facebook now as well. But the record is not very good with Facebook on other things. But, hey, it's okay. Folks, if you're just joining us on TikTok, this is our first Politics Done Right on TikTok. We're going to have some fun. Stick around, share, let's get busy. Anyhow, AVQ, welcome aboard. I am away to the doctor. AVQ, see you tomorrow. Hey, guy, hurry and get healthy. We want to make sure that our posse stays healthy. Yvette Avery Herod, our union specialist, the activist that's out there in the field with everybody. Thank you so kindly, Yvette, for being here. Paul Fleming, ATL, checking in. Robert P. Davenport, good afternoon, progressives, he says. Melanie Keelan says, good, everyone, good afternoon. By the way, folks, we are going to be, remember, on Saturday, we're having Ask Egberto Anything. politicsdoneright.com/Ask Egberto Anything. Let's get busy and have a good one this Saturday. Anyhow, let's see who else we got here. Melanie Keaton, good evening, everyone, she says. And E2247 says, Jeremy Barr got audio recording CBS News Company President Niraj Khemani telling staff that CBS needed to hire more Republicans for access reasons because GOP would likely win midterms. Imagine that. So let me tell you, if the title of the show today is what? How are we going to make sure that the Republicans don't win midterms? The Republicans can only win the midterms if what? If Democrats go to sleep. Oh, that's right. You are live on, I'm also live on LinkedIn. So we're live 6 places right now. Politics Done Right, that is. All right, folks, let's see. Tom C says, this is how Democrats win in 2020. You mean 2022? Yes, that's what I mean. 2022. What did I put? Did I put 2020 on TikTok Live as well? Folks, if you see 2020 on TikTok Live, was a typo. I meant 2022. My God, I guess I have all these things going on at the same time. This was our first show on TikTok. This is the first time we're coming live on TikTok. So if you're just coming with us live on TikTok, folks, give us a like, give us a follow, because this is how we're going to get this progressive message out. I want to show you guys something, because this is important. And I read, before I get started entirely with the program, I want to show you something. You heard the story today about Facebook is trying to malign TikTok. By the way, TikTok is no saint. None of these corporations are saints, right? But the thing about it is the following. If you heard a story, if you went out there and you heard a story that said, hey, TikTok is making teenagers do things they won't normally do, or you hear TikTok's doing all these different things. And by the way, for those of you who are on TikTok right now, if you want to listen to the show live the show is live now, but if you want to see it via YouTube or whatever, you have all the avenues by going to politicsdoneright.com/TV. politicsdoneright.com/TV. Anyhow, here is the deal. You have Facebook now maligning TikTok. They're pretty much trying to enhance what TikTok is doing, just like how people came out after Facebook for doing things that were legitimately not the best thing to do. Correct? I think we all agree on that. Now, if we go ahead and assume that, hey, we are going to listen to what these corporations are saying in the news media. Example, what they're doing right now at Facebook is purchasing news. They're purchasing local news outlets to go out there and tell, in the form of you, TikTok, in the form of your mama, your daddy, your granny. They're going to say, hey, all those kids that are on TikTok, all those young people that are on TikTok, they are really, really doing something wrong. And TikTok is doing it, it's helping them do it. Welcome aboard, Tiffany Reynolds 135. Great to see you on TikTok. Bring all folks, like us, and not only like us, but give us a good old, what again? Give us a good old follow. We're trying to collect follows here. I want to talk to my TikTok people for a second. Last night, I was doing some research on TikTok, right, to see how can I bring this platform to enhance what progressives want to say out in the ethos. And a friend of mine says, you know what? TikTok is great. It reaches a lot of people. Hell, even the administration is trying to reach Russians via TikTok. So what would I say normally? Hey, if I want to get the progressive message out, if I want to tell those kids who have student loans, hey, this is how we're going to get them to pay your student loans because they have ripped you off. If I want to do that, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to TikTok. I'm going to get a bigger audience on TikTok. And that is why we're here. That is why we're here. So what I'm asking all of you on TikTok that are seeing this for the first time, share it, share it, share it. And also please like it, like it, like it. And we can't trust the mainstream media. You see what YouTube already is doing, or what Facebook is, not YouTube, Facebook is doing to TikTok. Facebook is telling folks, hey, TikTok are lying about TikTok. TikTok is doing this. TikTok is doing that. How can you believe what you read in the papers anymore? Right? So therefore, please continue to stick with us. I want you to give us a hand. I want you to drop me some lines if you like what you're hearing. If you want us to cover subjects, just put it in the message. If you want us to talk about something, just put it in the message and let us know what you want to talk about. Otherwise, if you want us to do a particular subject, let us know. If you want us to reach on other things, let us know and we'll do it. Anyhow, going back to the subject at hand. What's today's subject? Today's subject is how can Democrats win? And I have a few videos, well, one video that's going to talk about that eventually. But AVQ is away at the doctor. AVQ, we want you to get ready. We want you to get better. We want you to be back online with us as soon as possible. So thank you so kindly for being there. We need you. We want to have you. All right, what else have we got here? Para ver. Eric Hayes says, tell me how this is okay. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt Foundation poured money into the White House office. I think you put that one up yesterday. I don't think we're going to mess with that one again, Eric. I don't know what you want me to say about that, but there's not much more that I can say about that. Okay, second subject. Trump used an official White House phone with 202-390 prefix to call Senator Mike Lee on January 6th, which means it should have been the presidential, what is that? What is that? Okay. Second one, Robert P. Davenport says, got my delivery of As I See It yesterday. Remember your promotions, Mr. Willies. Wow. Thank you. He got the book. You got my book, As I See It. Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Davenport. We'll do that at the end. We'll do that in the middle of the show where we'll tell folks to please go ahead and get the books. As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. Those of you listening on Twitter, on TikTok, please don't forget. Please go ahead and like it, and also please go ahead and share, and please go ahead and follow. That is going to help us get the message out. Peggy Lopez says, hi all. Today in 1870, the 15th Amendment gives black men the vote. 1920, women got the vote. June 1920. Paul Fleming says, if he's committed a crime, then he should go to jail. Agreed 100%. Eric Hayes says, it's TikTok is a China-owned company. Yes, I don't remember the name of the company, but yes, TikTok is a China-owned company. And GM is an American-owned company that builds its cars with a whole lot of Chinese parts, right? 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? Let's be clear. We have a world today that is all over the place. All right, E2247 says, call the phone of a Republican Senator, Mike Lee, with a recorded number 202-395-000, a placeholder number that shows up when a call is incoming from a number of the White House Department phones, the source says. Peggy Lopez also says, got my nursing schedule, comes out once a week until the middle of May. Hope that indicates it will be better. Then I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Eric Hayes says, we have another firm of doom going on now. What is a form? I think you mean form of doom. What is the form of doom that we're talking about, senor? Please let me know what the form of doom is. Oh, I need to go ahead and query my YouTube because for some reason the YouTube channel is not doing what it is supposed to do. Is everybody seeing YouTube clearly? Let me know if you're seeing YouTube clearly, and also on TikTok, let me know. Let's see. Encourage your viewers to share your live and invite more friends. Okay, thank you for giving me that advice. This is the first time that I'm on here. Viewers, please share and invite your friends to come on the program. This is my first time here, and one of you just suggested that I do that. Let's see. Astroke Genius sent you likes. Thank you very much for those likes, my dear daughter. Let's see who else we got here. Para ver. I see you later is Tiffany. See you later, Tiffany. You must not be too political, but we take care of a lot of things otherwise as well. Bright Sovereign just joined. Welcome aboard, Bright Sovereign. Please go ahead and like, and please follow. Please go ahead and have your friends follow as well. All right, let's continue. Let's continue here. The first video that I want to show you guys, right, is a video that, you know, I talk a whole lot about Troglodyte. Norman Reynolds, welcome aboard. Carl Cox says, GOP only want fascist judges on the U.S. Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas is best example of fascism. Okay, the first video, let me give a preamble to the first video. The first video is what I call the sexism video. Some of these guys are still troglodytes, right? I mean, if you take a look at Bob Woodward, Woodward has an exemplary career. The guy worked he's the one who discovered Watergate. He did all these wonderful things Bob Woodward did. But what happened? What happened? He goes on to talk to the reporter, and he's been working with her for a long time, with Reynolds. And what has she done? I want you to listen to this and see what sexism looks like, even though it's not necessarily catered as sexism. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side. Let me make sure I get the right one here. No, that's not that one. That's not that one. Bob Woodward. Here we go.
But you know, this is what we have here, and I think, you know, you started in journalism before I did, right? In the late 60s? You started in journalism before I did, right? In the late 60s? You started in journalism before I did, right? In the late 60s?
Yeah.
Yes, in Philadelphia.
You've got a good memory?
Covering one of
Well, you were in the military service in
Yes,
Vietnam.
I was off the coast of Vietnam during that period on a U.S. Navy ship, not in combat directly.
Can you believe that? Did you guys see that? Did you guys really see what occurred there? What occurred there was that this guy goes ahead and tells the host, "Hey, you're old. You've been in this much longer than I have, haven't you?" I mean, you don't tell a woman that on national TV, especially somebody that is what again? Somebody that is a host, Andrea Mitchell. I mean, yeah, she's an old timer. She's been there a long time. But we know how sexism and ageism is in the industry. Why highlight that? And that's exactly what he did. He highlighted that, and I think it was one of the worst moves possible. Okay, looks like we got some more people here on our network. We got Paul Fleming says, hit that like button. Yes, folks, please go ahead and hit that like button. We also have Eric Hayes says, current policy and follow-up shenanigans by our leaders in Washington. Norman Reynolds says, I am here. Welcome aboard, Norman. Welcome to Politics Done Right. Carl Cox says, GOP only want fascist judges on the U.S. Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas is best example of fascism. All right, folks, Sexy Aryan 18 join. Well, welcome aboard. Let's see, what was she interviewing him for? He seemed older and out of touch. And you know what? That is what I found interesting as well. He was being interviewed with respect to Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump went out there and he did what he always does. He goes ahead and he says, hey, Putin, if you have anything on Biden, let me know, because I will be there. I will be there to help out. Paul Fleming says, $1 goes a long way. Please give at mssocietydonordrive.com. He has a link in there, folks. You know, anytime we're talking about supporting any organization, I will always be in. I will always be in. So anyway, Kevin Anderson 043, welcome to Politics Done Right. Thank you. TikTok, please go ahead and share, like. Please share, please like, and please follow. We are new. We just started today. It is our first program that we're simulcasting on TikTok. So I'm sort of giving a little bit more touch here to TikTok to ask folks to please follow, please like, and please go ahead and please like, please follow, and please share. We want to grow this program. What we try to do is we're trying to give the progressive message out there that the mainstream media is not doing. We want to win the election in 2022, something that everybody says we can't, but we will if we do the right thing. Anyhow, folks, before I go to the other video, why don't you guys tell me what else you want me to talk about right here. I have an interview that I'm setting up for tomorrow that everybody will be able to see, but right now, let me know what you want to, what else you want us to cover before I go into the other interview. By the way, I want to put this link in our feed. Please go ahead and sign up to Politics Done Right, politicsdoneright.com/askegberto, because this weekend we are going to have another Ask Egberto. Let me make sure that I spelled that correctly. Ask Egberto. I spelled it wrong, of course. politicsdoneright.com/askegberto, so that you'll talk to me directly over Zoom. It's free of charge. Just come on in and we'll get it done. In fact, let me see if I can figure out how to type that here on TikTok and see if I can learn how to put that message in TikTok. I guess I'll have to figure that out at some other time. Comment. It looks like I can comment right here. All right, I'm going to put that inside of the comment now. Ask Egberto anything. All right, so that's in the TikTok. Folks, you can click on that link that I just placed inside here. Okay, the host is inviting you to go live together. True. Let's see, how does that go? All right, let's go live together. Let's see who that is. Hey, I am learning TikTok, folks, and somebody said they wanted to go live together. So let's see what that means. How are you doing today, my friend, whoever is going live with me together? All right, continuing with the policy. Anybody else has anything that they want me to talk about before we go ahead? Okay? Please. All right. As you can see, I'm doing two things at the same time. Carl Cox says, hey, Eric Hayes, don't believe lying crap by Fox Nazis. I agree. You can't believe anything by Fox Nazis. All right, continue. Let's go ahead and do the other video. The other video that I want to show you guys is the one with where Matthew Dowd says something that I completely agree with, in which or what Democrats need to do to win 2022. And I guess I need to correct that later on in the feed. But let's go ahead and talk about what he said. There we go. Let's see. Before I go, there, bingo.
And we saw it at the Supreme Court confirmation hearings, Republicans trying to paint Judge Jackson and the Democrats, by extension, as soft on crime. One of their biggest talking points right ahead of the midterms. So how do Democrats combat this messaging? Do you think it's going to be effective for Republicans?
Well, it's only going to be effective if Democrats let it be effective, because, as Mark just alluded to, the president of the United States doesn't support defunding the police. No U.S. Senate candidate running in 2022 supports defunding the police, and not a single congressional candidate running in a swing district Democrat supports defunding the police. So this is something the Republicans want to do. I think, in my view, the Democrats should go at the list of other issues on that list, which is Roe versus Wade, overwhelmingly supported by swing voters and Democrats, prescription drug relief, overwhelmingly, who won the election, overwhelmingly supported by all voters and swing voters and Democrats in this course of the election. And one thing I will add that I hope we add in future polls, which is the issue I would run on as a Democrat, is who's going to protect democracy and voting rights. And that's the issue. If I were Democrats, that's what I would run on. I would not go at a Republican talking point on defunding police because it has nothing to do with the establishment of the Democratic Party. I would go at the big issues that they have an advantage on.
Agreed 100%. You know, here's what I don't understand. Here's what I really don't understand. If you take a look at what's been happening, right, it turns out that those who have actually defunded the police, have been the Republicans. They refused to pass Build Back Better. They put cuts in the rescue plan. You go ahead and follow item after item after item. The people who have cut the budgets of police throughout this country by not supporting the policies that Democrats have been putting out there, the ones cutting the police are Republicans. And instead, we have Democrats fighting the word. The reason why the crime rate is up is because you're talking about defund the police. Why is it that we immediately didn't make an ad that said the people who are defunding the police are Republicans because they won't pass the funds that we've passed to give to law enforcement? It's not all that difficult, right, to do something like that. In other words, don't fight on their turf. Fight on your turf. In other words, fight on your strengths, just like Matthew Dowd said. And Matthew Dowd wants us to go cultural. I'm not exactly sure about fully going cultural and saying, oh, we're going to go ahead and start talking about abortion and all those things, because I don't know how successful that particular thing would be. Let's see, gonna be worse before being better is what? Let's see, gonna be worse before being better, according to E2247. I don't know what you mean, but I think you're going to correct me. Carl Cox says, Democratic Party needs to concentrate on policy ideas supported by majority of Americans. Don't worry about special interests. You know, that is one of the things that they talk about us not doing. In other words, we will allow them to draw us into all these different discussions, all these different arguments. And we'll go ahead and talk about these as opposed to talking about our core values. Talk about our core values and how we are going to help you, them, solve their problems. Not all that difficult, is it? And that is what we need to learn how to do. That is what we need to learn how to do. So I named the program. What did I name the program? How do we win in it should have been 2022. Tom C says I accidentally put 2020. I'll look at it afterwards and fix it in the end. So there are several things that I want us to consider. Number one, let's not fight on their turf. In other words, don't let them dictate the policy. Don't let them dictate what we are going to talk about. We are not going to allow that. We are going to dictate the direction of the issues. Welcome aboard, Glenda Ben 22. Thank you for being here. Please share, follow, and what is it again? Share, follow, and like. That's what it is. Share, follow, and like to help us get up there. So here is the deal. The first thing is we don't fight on their term. They talk about defund the police. The only thing we have to do is hit a counter. It is Republicans who have defunded the police. And then we move on and we say what we want to do is to keep the streets of America safe. And then in Texas, we have the perfect example. The problem in Texas is people are scared to tell the truth about guns. Let's give an example. In Texas, we've decided to pass laws. What Cruz showed on? Let's see, tips are going. All right, let's see what this says here. Accept, decline, what is that? Zippo? I don't understand. Again, folks, sorry for I don't understand how the live stuff completely works on TikTok. So if you guys want to do something on TikTok that I don't understand, you guys just kind of tell me in a little message, and I will go ahead and mess with it and try to. But I'm going to be learning this over the next few days. So bear with me as I'm new to TikTok. I'm tying this into my general program. All right, folks. So here's the deal now. We spoke about how we take care of that defund the police issue. That's not an issue. We turn it on them. But here in Texas and in other places where they have Republicans have distinctly passed lenient gun laws. Laws that say in Texas, anybody can have a gun. You're 18, you can buy a gun. You don't need to learn how to use the gun. You don't need to license the gun. You don't need to do anything. And guess what started to happen in Houston right now? It's like the Wild Wild West. Kids driving at 18 or so. Let's see, Egberto, Twitch is showing comments. YouTube is not showing you. So, wow, I don't know why YouTube is not showing me. Try to refresh and let me know if YouTube fixed itself. Anyhow, so here's the deal. You go ahead and start talking about Republicans are making crime worse because they have given guns to criminals. They've given guns to people that are too young. They've given guns to all these other people that shouldn't have guns in Texas and other Republican states have guns. And what are we seeing? Murders going up and other crime going down. Okay? That's what's happening in Texas right now. Crimes with guns went up, but other crimes went down. And why is that again? That is Republican policy. Let's continue. Remember, right after the pandemic, when we had the rescue plan, remember that every child got, the parent of every child under $200,000 or something like that, they got $300 for every kid. Was that a giveaway? Was that welfare? No, you know what that was? That was payment for what the plutocracy has screwed the average American person for the last 40 years since Reaganomics came into effect. All we're doing is evening things back up with something known as what again? I like to call it, it's called default income, or there's a sort of income that they call it. Help me out here. Basic income. It's just basic income. It is saying that we have a society that doesn't know how to, goes ahead and give most of the money to the rich. And what we're doing is bringing some back. That's all. It's not a giveaway. It's not welfare. It is deserved. Okay? So all we have to remind them as well is, remember that $300? Democrats gave you that. Not one Republican voted for that. And you know what happened back in last time? They promised that Build Back Better was going to be passed, but we had just about every single Republican said no, and 2 conservative Democrats said no, and therefore no Build Back Better. We need more progressives in Congress, not less. We need to elect people that are going to serve you, not less. I mean, I just cannot understand. And I'm sitting down here, I'm a political activist for decades. I just cannot understand how Democrats believe this is a year that they should lose other than history. Because history has said that the party in power with the president loses in the second term. It doesn't have to repeat itself. In fact, one of the things that you should do from history is learn history. And when you learn history, You make sure not to repeat the mistakes of the past. And my contention is that we are repeating the mistakes of the past. If we follow these steps that I'm talking about, it is impossible to lose. Because you know what every mother wants? Every mother wants to be able to buy her kids what they need. Every daddy wants to support his kids. Oh, every daddy wants to support his kids. But they need to know what they will lose. They need to know what they will lose if they go ahead and elect the charlatanes. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Paul Fleming says, listen, choice of words matter. And in this case, the media can define the police to Saturn and back. Just like Republicans ran states have taken money out of schools but say our children are the future, money gets moved around. In this case, we want to take some of the $1 billion that's spent on policing and include a mental health element to save lives. And those are the things that we have to say. But it doesn't happen automatically. You have to say it, and you have to mean it. You have to be able to. It's not defending. It's just about saying what is true. And that's what progressives do. Tell the truth. Egberto, it's soft on crime DAs in cities like LA and Philly. Wrong. Soft on crime in LA and Philly is, you know what you had in LA and Philly? A reversal of crime, right? What we had was criminal police officers beating up innocent people several times over. And because we're saying, police, behave yourself, we are soft on crime? Come on now, be for real. That's not at all the way it is. Melanie Keelan says, fine, how are you, Maywood? Maywood, I trust that you're fine today. Let us know how you're feeling, etc. But by the way, thank you for being here. I didn't read a comment from May. Let's see if I see May's comment up top. Crocock says, Eric Hayes, don't believe lying crap about Nazi news. Let's see what else we got here. Food stamps is the leading search string on Google. Any questions? 7% inflation. I agree with you 100%. Folks, those of you that are listening, please remember, go ahead and like and follow. Like and follow. Please go ahead and help us get this stuff going, get this stuff started. Like and follow. Like and follow. Those of you that are listening right now, have you liked yet? Have you followed yet? Please do. Okay, let's see what we got. Tom C. says, if Hunter Biden is guilty, he should go to jail along with Trump kids and their daddy. 100% in agreement. What else we got here? Egberto Twitch. No, I read that one already. Let's continue. Conservatives use language to scare American public about gun safety, background checks in order to stockpile guns to overthrow American democracy and to establish a fascist banana republic government. I agree. I cop to that. All right, what else? Yesterday's story, E2247. What are we talking about? Let me know what you mean by yesterday's story. Lee Grant says, Houston also has an increase in unvetted immigrants due to Biden's leaky border. It's amazing. I would like our border to be more leaky because right now we are having an employment shortage in America. And one of the problems is that we have an immigration system that has been gutted, which may also contribute to the plutocracy gouging us on produce, right? Let those darn people into the country. There's a lot of work that we need to get done. And as long as we keep them out and the vegetables rot on the ground, that is a problem. Let's get away from the false prejudice and let's get into practicality, Brother Grant. I know you. You should know better than that. Maywood says, is that the one where he says, I'm leaving in an hour if you don't remove the corrupt prosecutor by then? I'm taking the loan guarantees with me. And then he says, and guess what? They remove him. That one, it's exactly what I just... I hear you. June Litter, welcome aboard Politics Done Right. How does a killing criminal get into the justice system to begin with? With a gun. So easy to get. Duh. Thank you. Thank you. And that is what we have to push. We got to push guns, Republicans. Your safety is being destroyed by Republicans. And I don't even have to lie about that. That's just a fact, right? That is just a fact. All right, Carl Cox says conservatives also want death squads to terrify Americans once they establish a banana republic. I don't know where he got that one from, but, you know, hey, I'll hold on to it. All right, let's see what else we got here. That's amazing, Egberto. Most Philly cops are black. Why does it, wait a minute. I'm so glad that you said that. Most Philly cops are black. Did I say that the cops, did I mention a race with cops or anything? Why did you? Have you not listened to my programs on cops and say that when cops become cops, sometimes in even the black neighborhoods, the black cops are some of the worst? Haven't you heard me say that before, Brother Lee Grant? Come on now. The institution cops, the institution of cops is an institution. And even though they have prejudice within their ranks, there's something about it that makes them want to go out there and do things a certain way. And you know, I had a cop on a couple of weeks ago or a week ago or something like that. So come on now. I am very consistent. Robin Davenport says, LA is in no way soft on crime. I live in LA. Thank you, brother. Norman Reynolds says, the GOP has demonstrated that they are against the government, which includes the police, public education. And that is the other one. We need to clamp them to January 6th. What was January 6th? January 6th was an attack on the government. And not only was it an attack on the government, they killed police. Let's remember that. All right, let's say Bruce Pollard back from volunteer work. Hey, Bruce, what were you volunteering doing? I'm curious. Bruce is a great political activist in Houston, and he goes out and he does a lot of work elsewhere, KPFT, HPJC, and a lot of other things. Keep up the good work, Brother Bruce, but I'm curious to know what you're doing. I'd like to highlight what you're doing. Eric Hayes says, plutocracy, whoa, let's blame all with a one-word description. You know what? If the shoe fits, then we should. Paul Fleming says, what has been discovered in my state is that repeat offenders commit about 40% of crime. The state is now looking at shutting down these career thieves with different laws. Good. And that's what you do. You get laws, you change the law to match what works and what does not work. Oh, it's time to do my ask. I forgot. And while I'm doing this, let me see. For those of you that are on TikTok, let me go ahead and can I reverse the screen on TikTok while it's live? I thought you could do that, but let's see if I can do that. It looks like I cannot. I'm going to have to do some practice sessions with this thing. This was just kind of going hot off the heel with TikTok to see to see how this baby worked. Let's see what I got here now. Para ver qué tengo ahora. All right, let's see, folks. Let me go ahead and give you our video for our book. I'm Egberto Willies, as host of Politics Done Right, a progressive radio media show on Pacifica Network's KPFT 90.1 FM Houston that engages all ideologies. I found that our political angst isn't mostly ideological. There is a well-designed effort by many in power to control us. If we are at each other's throats, we are less likely to demand our economic and local wishes. In that light, I wrote 3 books. I wrote the first one titled, As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom, to describe the entire economy in a manner we can all understand. It highlights why it was designed to pilfer most as it empowers a few, the chosen. The second book, titled, It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors, take it to the next level. After understanding how the system pilfers, it is incumbent that we can speak to our peers to empower a change. The third book, How to Make America Utopia, Take Away the Economy from Those Who Rigged It, gives us a place to land. After learning about our economy that is dysfunctional for most and learning how to engage the other side, we point out what would make an economy that works for all. Each book stands on its own, but together they provide the full picture. Please consider getting one or more. You will undoubtedly learn, be entertained, and help us continue the mission with our blogs, articles, videos, and books. Absolutely so, folks. So please consider going ahead and getting those books. All right, now it is time. Please go to politicsdoneright.com/YouTube, politicsdoneright.com/YouTube to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy all the offers that we have there. I'm trying to get there to the link right now. Let's see. There we go. politicsandright.com/YouTube. That is how you become a member on YouTube. You can also become what we call a Patreon. politicsandright.com/Patreon. politicsandright.com/Patreon. But the preferred way, of course, of supporting Politics and Right is via PayPal. politicsandright.com/PayPal. politicsandright.com/PayPal. Please visit our store. Our store have a whole lot of new stuff in it. Go to politicsandright.com/store. politicsandright.com/store. Para ver qué más tengo aquí. And to get our books, of course, it's politicsdoneright.com/books. politicsdoneright.com/books. If you want to find an all-encompassing way to support us, that will be at politicsdoneright.com/support. politicsdoneright.com/support. And please do not forget, this weekend, on Saturday at 11 Central, noon Eastern, go to politicsdoneright.com, ask Egberto. You can log in and ask us anything that you want to ask us. Be happy to be there with you. politicsdoneright.com/ask Egberto. Anyhow, I have, let's see what else I got for you here. We have about 16 minutes left. So before I go into the last video, let's see what I got here. Paul Fleming says, this country will never be able to keep up with China because they've done one thing right that this country won't: make every level of education free. That is a very, very important truth. That is a very, very important truth. So I don't know. Give me some suggestions. How do we, that isn't one of the things that I had as the list of things that Democrats needed to do. I'm going to get into the others in a minute, right? But that wasn't on the list. Here's what I'd like to ask you though. What would you suggest that we do, right, to actually get people to, how should I say this? What would you suggest that we do to actually get people to see that as something that needs to be done? In other words, how do we tell people that, hey, education of all forms should be free? Educations of all forms should be free. Bear with me right here. I'm trying to get a link here to share. I didn't know how to do it, so I'm trying my best as we speak to get that link, but I am unable to get the link. But let's see, maybe some other time. The next time around, I'll have a better way of doing it. Anyhow, so what's your thoughts? Okay, let me continue reading what you guys have to say. Replying to Eric Hayes, Maywood, you are not posting reasons, my friend Hunter, time on that one, as there is business that is now on laptop. See the big similarities, or maybe you think not related, like corrupt. Eric Hayes, look, I know you guys would like to make Biden's son some sort of an issue. The problem is Biden's son is not the president. Just like the Trump kids, Melania, whatever her name is not, that's not who is president. So let's forget about that. Get on to something more substantive. Okay, let's see. Casey Gibbs, welcome aboard. Off currently discussion, but I keep wanting your thoughts on how we combat Chinese expansion with Russian authoritarian partnership, China student academic success, Xi Jinping authoritarian leadership, 3, Chinese economic growth and probably eventual dominance. I think this means we need to invest far more heavily in education. You know something? It's interesting that you just answered the statement made by Fleming, right? Because he just said one of the reasons, Paul Fleming just said one of the reasons that we are going to, you said a donation came, and Breach, thank you for your donation. Oh, Breach just donated to the policy for Paul Fleming. Thank you very much, Breach. You see, we have the most wonderful people in this darn world, man. But anyhow, here's the deal. Thank you, Breach, for always supporting good work, Breach. No, Paul Fleming is happy about that. All right, let me answer your question, Gibbs. I really, because that's a very important statement. We don't, here's what's in too many Americans' psyche, right? Technically speaking, we will never ever be able to compete with a successful China. China is more than or about 4 or more times our size. So generally speaking, they just the number of people that they have, the number of people they have in the middle class is larger than the entire American population. Just think about that. And that's less than 25% of their population in the middle class, right? And it's more than the entire population of the United States. We can't compete with China. We for too long have been governed under the notion that we had to be number one in everything, that we had to speak softly and carry a big stick, that we had to dominate around everywhere else somebody else would. And I think what China has shown is a different type of domination, right? We can make believe that America is the leader of the world right now. But let me give you some realities, right? There's more manufacturing happening in China. All the production for building things occur in China, and the technical know-how is in China. We have it here in the United States, but we don't invest in it. We have all the plutocrats, the capitalists, extracting out of it. Now, because we have authoritarian capitalism more so than we have in China, more so than we have here, they understand within their form of capitalism that they have to prime their pump, education, and they do it. We are slowly falling behind because we don't do that. And here's the funny thing about this whole issue. In the short term, it works because our capitalists maximize on their profits by using the lower cost labor in China. But eventually, China will not need our marketplace. We still have the largest market, right? Because we're a consumer market. But soon, China won't need us. And if we continue to think, okay, let's see, turn off invites for this live video. I don't know what this means, but I was about to accept it, but I don't know how it's done. Somebody asked for an invite, and I don't know what it means, but I was about to accept it just to try it out. So if you had asked for an invite, go ahead and ask again, and I'll accept and try to see how it works, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, so China, as it turns out, my friend, there's nothing that we can do to stop China from becoming the largest economy. There's nothing that we can do to ensure that China is going to have more engineers, more doctors, more physicists, more of everything. And if they have more of everything, they're likely to create more things. Because again, we've defaulted in not educating our own as they have continued to educate their own. Those that just came into TikTok, please don't forget when you join in, please give us a thumbs up by liking this show, sharing this show, and following this show. We need you. A few of you have followed thus far. I would love for more of you to follow and help us out. Anyhow, let's see. Okay, what time is it here? 4:52. I need to do the last video. Let me set the last video up. We know that, who is that? I can never get her name right. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Biden has always wanted a bipartisan vote. It seems like he's going to get it. And by the way, I'm going to continue with some of the Democratic thing tomorrow, because today I'm a bit out of whack today as I am trying to learn this new platform and integrate it with what we're doing here and make sure that I can do both, all that good stuff. But, you know, I'll get better at it. Ketanji Brown Jackson will get a bipartisan vote because of this. Let me go ahead and play. We know Susan Collins, but it's funny. Well, I'll make mention of what somebody wrote on my screen about Susan Collins in a little bit, but here we go.
Legal experts and reviewed numerous documents. In the end, I decided that she had the qualifications the experience and the credentials that we require of a Supreme Court justice, and warranted my support.
In your statement, you said that there were some things you agree with her on, some things that you don't. In terms of the clarification you were seeking, what exactly did you ask her to clarify?
We had an in-depth discussion of many of the cases that were brought up at the hearings, and she explained in more detail her careful, thoughtful reasoning. I didn't always agree with the results that she came up with, but I had no doubt that she applies a very careful approach to the facts of a case when she is judging.
Why did you decide to come out with your decision today ahead of the vote?
Well, the hearings have been completed, and I said from the start that I wanted to make sure that I listened to the hearings, because you never know what issues are going to come up. And indeed, there were issues that were raised. And then yesterday, I had another hour-long one-on-one meeting with her. And at this point, I felt I had all the information that I needed to reach a decision.
Thank you guys so much. Republican leadership ahead of your announcement today?
I informed the Republican leaders this morning, so I did give them a little advance heads up, but not a lot.
Do you expect any of your other Republican colleagues to follow suit, and are you talking to any of them?
I have no idea what my other Republican colleagues will do. I have had discussions with some of them, but obviously that's an individual decision and one that only they can make. So I've not attempted to pressure anybody to come out in the same reach the same decision that I have reached, and you'll just have to ask them where they are. Thank you.
So therefore, what have we got? It turns out now that Ketanji Brown Jackson, I always have to slow down when I'm going to say her name, will have a bipartisan vote for her Supreme Court ascension. But anyway, folks, let me go ahead and end the show with the information that you got here. Susan Spinner, welcome aboard. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Replying to Paul Fleming. Paul Fleming, no loops take into info from several places other than your CNN you choose. Actually, Eric, you get some information from some interesting places that really lies to you. And the reason I know that is you share them here. And, so I mean, look, truth is absolute, right? So therefore, I hear you, brother, your family, but you come here with a lot of misinformation, and it mostly goes because you have a bias. All of us have our biases, but you particularly have a bias, and you will try to find anything that fulfills your bias, and that is how or why the country is in deep caca right now. Really. Egberto, you might want to be careful on just clicking, especially from TikTok. Yeah, I thought about that, but since it was the first time, if I screwed up here and there, I don't know, Eric. But if you're on TikTok, Eric, go on TikTok and go give me a follow and a like, just to make sure that I keep this thing going. Let's see what else we got here. China middle class is bigger than U.S. population for sure. China's strategic planning is for 75 to 100 years. Out while the United States planned for 4 years. Actually, less than that. They planned for 2 years for the next election, right? They know that every election they get something done. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Susan Puke, Susan Spinner. Welcome, Susan Spinner. That's who we just had, right? All right, let's see what else we got here. Maywood, it's true. Egberto, you are the only source of truth. No, I'm not. Because what I am talking about is not just emanating from my mouth. It is coming from reliable sources. Lee Grant says, isn't TikTok full of pedos? Probably so. But it's also full of other folks, because I use it a lot. I really love, every night at about 3 in the morning, between 2:30, depending on what time I go to bed. I go to bed between 2:30 and 3:30, somewhere around there. And I'll lie down on my cot, and I'll pick up the phone, and I'll probably spend another half hour on TikTok. The other night, it was actually an hour because time flies when you're on TikTok. You have to be careful. And I was there. I'm learning different things and what to do, how other people have used the platform. So I finally created a business platform on TikTok. So now I have to learn how to use it. Now I have to learn how to keep people here. A lot of things that I have to learn, because today we had 370 live viewers. Okay, but they pop in for a few minutes and pop out. Pop in for a few minutes and pop out. My goal is to get quite a few more and find ways to hold not only YouTube, not only Twitch, but also TikTok, Twitter, and everybody else. It's hard, but if we're going to change the world, it is something that we are going to have to do, and we cannot just give up. We just have to continue doing it over and over again. We're at 4:59. Egberto, get your 8 hours sleep. We need you healthy forever. Thank you, E2247. I appreciate the thought. I've been getting between 3.5 and 4.5 hours of sleep. There was one day this week that I clocked in, I think, 6 hours. And it was the day that my daughter said, go to sleep. And I said, no, I got to work. And I sat down. And it wasn't good enough. The sleep said, no, you're going to sleep. So I went to sleep. Anyhow, Carl Cox says, the only social media website I use is Facebook. However, I know some posts are good and some posts are bad. But you have to be able to discern which are good and which are bad. So therefore, Carl Cox, I won't complain about that. But we got to close this baby out. My name is Egberto Willies. I want to thank you guys so kindly for spending this time with me. I'm sorry for being a little bit aloof today because I've been working on a new platform. As I integrate that better and find a way to better use it, I promise you that we'll be more smooth. Anyway, my name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know exactly how I end this baby. I am what? Out! We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.